This segment is brought to you by Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, welcome back. And we have Captain Brendan Mathern of the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Department. He is joining us right now. And there you see him. Good to see you, Captain. How are you?
I'm good, Martin. Thanks for having us.
All right, anytime. We appreciate y'all coming on and letting the folks know what's taking place in Lafourche. Let's talk about that vehicle burglary investigation first that really led to the arrest of two fugitives, including one that was wanted in 4 states.
Yeah, this kind of took on a life of its own when we started this investigation. It all started on Thursday morning when around 6 a.m. When our detectives and deputies responded to a fitness center in Raceland. They had several vehicles that had been burglarized in the parking lot. And, I guess one of the first things that we noticed that we typically don't is that some of the vehicles were actually broken into. Typically, we don't see that in too many vehicle burglaries, which is why we tell people keep valuables out of sight, keep your doors locked, because most of the time thieves don't go through the trouble of breaking open vehicles, breaking windows. They simply look for easy targets. So in any event, we saw that we had a couple of vehicles where windows had been broken, probably due to valuables being left on a seat or what may have you. But we continued this investigation and worked with several area law enforcement agencies as well. And we actually located the vehicle in the Baton Rouge area. Baton Rouge police conducted a traffic stop, and we identified 2 people, 29-year-old Tedrick Montgomery Jr. Of South Carolina and 40-year-old Sandy Palmer of Michigan. Now, you see both of these pictures. We don't have mug shots because they were actually booked in Baton Rouge, but both were arrested. And we were actually able to get them charged in several investigations. So first and foremost, obviously, during the search of their vehicle, we located evidence from burglaries in 3 parishes. We further learned that Palmer had attempted to cash some stolen checks in New Orleans and Gonzales, and she had other blank checks in her possession. So they were both arrested and booked in East Baton Rouge Parish, and they were then transferred to Livingston Parish so they could be booked on their warrants there. So Montgomery was booked on a warrant for simple burglary in Livingston, and then we obtained warrants for him for 2 counts of simple burglary of a vehicle and attempted simple burglary of a vehicle, as well as possession of tools for a crime. He has pending charges in Lafourche as well for 2 counts each of bank fraud, identity theft, and forgery. Montgomery also has warrants, as you mentioned, for Thibodeau Police, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, and the states of South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Now, Palmer, on the other hand, was booked with simple burglary in Livingston. In Lafourche Parish, she faces 2 counts each of bank fraud, identity theft, and forgery. So that pretty much wraps up the case as far as the charges go. Obviously, the investigation will continue and additional charges are always possible, Martin. But Sheriff Weber issued a statement in our news release for this that basically, and to sum it up, it's don't bring that to Lafourche Parish. These are clearly 2 criminals that have committed similar crimes in other areas and other jurisdictions. We not only solved our crime, but we tracked them all the way to New Orleans and then to Baton Rouge, and eventually were able to help, and assist in getting the arrest, and found out that they have these open charge warrants, which they'll now have to stand and face in all of those areas. So, look, our detectives are, we want to protect our citizens, and we're always going to investigate crime. But don't think you can come to Lafourche Parish and do something like this and try to get away with it.
Yeah, and those mug shots, I never quite seen them like that before, but hey, it works. They didn't look too happy. Let me switch gears. We've got a couple of minutes left. Y'all had 2 more arrested in the ongoing narcotics investigation, which you talked to previous. Can you bring us up to date?
Yeah, we had mentioned previously that we had arrested Brian Wright and Richard Commodell Jr., Brian of Gray and Richard Commodell of LaRose. Well, we added 2 more arrests to that ongoing investigation, 29-year-old Amber Stelly of Bayou Blue and 25-year-old Gianna Cardenas of Gray. They've both been arrested. As I mentioned, Commodell and Wright were both arrested previously. There you see Commodell and Wright as well. They were both arrested previously, but as we continued our investigation into their activity, we were able to arrest Stelly on March 7th. For possession of Valium in connection with that investigation. She was released the following day. But also Cardenas, we were able to get a warrant for her for meth distribution, and she was arrested in Terrebonne Parish last week and transferred to Lafourche Parish. So she's still in jail. She was released on April 22nd after posting $50,000 bail.
Well, and I tell you, y'all do such a good job in Lafourche. Sometimes we sort of laugh in an unserious way, but y'all get so many different kinds of things happening on that 100-mile stretch of Lafourche, but y'all seem to handle it all, and it never gets boring in Lafourche Parish, does it?
Never a boring day, Morton. That's why I enjoy working here. But we really love working for the citizens of Lafourche, and we hope that cases like this help to show that our main goal is to keep them safe. We want to continue to make this a great parish to live in.
All right, Captain. Good seeing you again. Tell the sheriff hello, and we appreciate y'all transparency.
Thank you, Martin.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll have a lot more right here on Bayou Time. This segment was brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.